Alright, let's talk about foxes in the furry fandom, and how they confuse me. Ever so slightly. This is a very small thing that I started to notice. So this whole idea that I had started from a comment that was left on one of my YouTube shorts I did recently about foxes and my opinions on them within the aspect of furry. I just think they're neat. I mean, look, some people ask me, like, what are your thoughts on fox fursonas? And I'm like, what am I supposed to say? What's the right answer you're looking for here? Should I just downright say, like, oh yeah, I hate fox fursonas, and I hate anyone who's going to choose a fox fursona. So retroactively, anyone who's a fox, I hate them. I'm imagining that little bit that I just did being taken out of context, and now I'm going to be canceled. Hey, it'd be good traction for me. I need to pay rent. But seriously, I get asked all the time, thoughts on this fursona species, and the one of the week was, what are your thoughts on fox fursonas? Give us your opinion on fox fursonas, Beta. It's like, what do you want me to say? I think they're neat? But I did receive one comment on that YouTube short that kind of picked my brain about my thoughts on fox furries and how they're perceived, the generalizations, the stereotypes, versus how they're looked at in mainstream media. So yes, this entire video is happening because of one YouTube comment. Welcome to the Boodles channel. And the comment reads as such: I find it fascinating that the fox stereotypes in the furry fandom are so drastically different than the depictions of sly trickster foxes seen in folklore and even modern pop culture. Which that is a very good point, believe it or not. Why is it that furries, at least with their fursonas and generalizations about them, the overall stereotype associated with fox fursonas, fox furries, is very, very different from traits exhibited in foxes in general media? And when I mean foxes in general media, I mean like anthropomorphic animal, cartoon character foxes, Nick Wilde, Robin Hood from Zootopia, the Carfax guy. Alright, let's talk about how foxes in the furry fandom confuse me. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Okay, I didn't think I'd get this far with the intro, okay? I'm winging it here. I'm too distracted by the nails that I just painted, which I did a really good job with, but I ended up fucking up the middle finger there, and it already sucks. But hey, that's 9 out of 10 for the ones that I got right, so I'll take what I can get. So the idea for this video started from when a bunch of you guys on my live streams had been asking me the question, Beta, what is your opinion on fox furries? Which, like, what am I supposed to say? Like, is there a right answer that people are looking for? Is there a wrong answer? I can think of some wrong answers, and that... Actually, yeah, I hate fox furries, guys. Plain and simple, if you have a fox fursona, I hate you. Watch that clip get taken out of context and me being canceled on furry Twitter. Isn't it great? My opinion on fox furries? This isn't like the drama of the week, right? Nothing happened to fox furries. Why is that being... But I keep getting asked that a lot. And so I eventually did a YouTube short out of it, where I just answered, I just think they're neat. I mean, I think they are neat. I think they're very sweet and cute and adorable, even though there are a bunch of foxes already within furry. Arguably, fox fursonas are the most popular fursona species, the most used fursona species within furry. But the fact that people are still making fox fursonas, and there is still many, many more that are coming out that are very unique, very cool looking, I think is really cool. It just shows that creativity within the furry fandom is endless. That's more the point that I wanted to get along with that short video, but you know, you can only do so much with 1 minute, so. I feel like the overall idea or perception, the vibe that we feel with regards to fox fursonas or fox furries or furries of certain fursona natures, or furries with many different fursona species, differs vastly from fox characters portrayed and shown in general fictional media, in how they're viewed by the audience and how they're portrayed by their creators. But specifically within mainstream general media, with like cartoons with anthropomorphic animal fox characters. We see characters like Nick Wilde from Zootopia. They exhibit traits of being a sly, conniving, trickster character. And then you have another example of Robin Hood from Robin Hood. I haven't seen the film at all, but in every single screen cap or still image from the film that I have seen, he's always given off this very suave, confident, and somewhat sly vibe. Like, you don't really know what he's going to be doing next, or what he's thinking. but he exudes this confidence because he's conniving, thinking of something else that he could be doing. Again, I haven't seen the film. This is just the vibe that I get from looking at the character. And to be honest, 90% of the screen caps that I've seen of him are from a still image of him being tied up and surrounded by other animals in the film. So yeah, that should speak numbers about how furries view the character. So pretty much the point I'm trying to make here is that most foxes that we've seen in fictional mainstream media exhibit traits of being sly, conniving, mysterious trickster characters. And that kind of fits the bill for, I guess, the animals themselves. I haven't really seen a fox, to be honest, IRL, like an actual fox, so I can't really say. But, you know, the whole sly sort of traits behind them, I feel like that kind of lines up with the personification of them in fictional media. And that doesn't just go for general pop culture or media, but it goes through many, many different like cultures and stories told as well. So this isn't just something in the moment that like, oh hey, we now decided foxes are going to exhibit these traits of like sly, mysterious, conniving creatures if they were personified. No, this is something that has been going for years and has roots in many, many different cultures, many different folklores, and many stories from around the world. And I want to make that point because going into how they are portrayed and seen within the furry fandom, fox furries, or fox fursonas, at least the stereotypes that I have seen and heard on the internet for years now, they don't really line up with a lot of the foxes that we see in general media. One of the big stereotypes that I have seen a lot of furries associate with fox fursonas is that they're bottoms. Also, I'm gonna ask, why did that become a big thing that people started calling one another? I don't know when it happened, like 2019, 2020 or so, but everyone just started calling each other bottoms, specifically foxes, you know? Like even when I was mentioning foxes and my opinions on them, there were like a good few people in the chat being like, oh, foxes are bottoms. Whether it was joking or serious, the fact of the matter is it's still some sort of associated stereotype. I don't know where. So fox furries, or at least fox fursonas, I feel like have the stereotype of being bottoms or submissive or femboys or some mixture of the three different things. Most of the time, it's all those three things together. And that's not saying every fox furry or fox fursona out there is going to exhibit these traits. If anything, I feel like that's a dangerous thing to assume that of every fox out there. It can be very hurtful if you apply those generalizations or stereotypes to them, because again, a fursona might be a very personal thing to some people. However, I feel like there is some merit to these stereotypes being a thing, and that's what I've wanted to kind of figure out for a bit, which I don't know if I ever will. There's no like statistical analysis for this either, because this is just kind of how the internet has worked. Like the fact that the stereotype of fox furries has existed for a long time now, as far as I can remember, since I've joined the furry fandom, there's either some truth to it or it's some bad habit that just hasn't been reprimanded or fixed? I don't know, but it's very interesting either way. I also do want to emphasize that these generalizations and stereotypes have existed mainly in the online realm of furry, which is a very different place than the IRL portion of furry. Like if you're going to a con or like a furry event, you only really see these generalizations or stereotypes happen in the online world. So back to the point that I was trying to make. I don't even know where we are anymore, okay? Now, are these stereotypes about fox furries true? That they're bottoms, submissive, that most of them are femboys, that we're thigh highs? And I don't know, I feel like that's a generalization that the furry side of the internet is going to make as a whole, but I will say there is a little bit of merit to it, just based on my own observations that I've seen, where a lot of fox fursonas I've seen in like thigh highs or dressed as femboys. That does kind of add to the case of it, but it is a commonly repeating factor that you can see with many different fox fursonas. And so I feel like that's how the stereotype kind of started to begin with. You know, if you see one and then you see more, and then it's more common that you see fox furries that exhibit these traits, then yeah, you know, the generalization may make itself known, which isn't healthy to do. But again, that's just how the internet is. And this is me dissecting yet again how the internet perceives things, at least the furry side of it. The rest of it, I do that on the main channel somewhere, whenever I feel like it. So at the end of the day, all of these stereotypes and generalizations, I feel like just come down to simple observations and seeing things repeating within fox fursonas as a whole, which probably means I need to go outside more. And that's another thing too to kind of keep a note of with this. Like, furries don't act like the animals associated with their characters per se. It feels like I'm having one of those moments right now of like, what? You're telling me furries who have fox fursonas. Don't act like foxes. I feel like I'm having one of those moments right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Look, I started this video, I'm gonna be honest, we're like halfway through it, not even. I kind of lost all the points that I was trying to make here. I don't know, this might be a bit of a, damn Beta, you missed on this one. You know what, I'm willing to admit that, but a couple of points that I think are very worth acknowledging for this argument about the fox furry stereotype is that femboy, is that the main thing about the femboy part, the femboy personality or vibe is extremely popular. Like, just in general popular, from what I've seen on the internet. And that might be a whole discussion for another day, breaking down the perspective and personality of femboys, femboy culture. Is that a thing? I want to talk about that in a separate video, so if you have any ideas associated with the whole femboy thing, why that's a popular thing, do let me know your thoughts and opinions or reasonings for it. So like I've discussed in many videos on here about very common fursona species within the fandom, it's very likely that you're going to see foxes a lot more because they're so popular and they're so common to see. And seeing that, you know, you see foxes a lot and then the femboy vibe personality thing very often, putting those two together, you'll probably see that a lot too. I know they're mutually exclusive points, but I feel like there is a point to be made with the popularity of both of these two things specifically. The femboy personality and vibe, and then foxes. Just foxes within furry. Very common, very popular. So a lot of images in media containing both of these things put together, specifically showing foxes in a much different energy than a lot of us are used to, I feel like will circulate a lot more. Especially within general media. Like if you post a fox fursona in thigh highs to like mainstream Twitter and it circulates there, it's gonna circulate a bit more heavily because you don't usually see that associated with fox characters. But either way, I wanted to talk for a little bit about the stereotypes that I see associated with fox fursonas and maybe have this be like potentially a leading video into a bigger one that I want to do about just stereotypes with certain fursonas in general, because a lot of it just comes down to stereotypes differ from how furries and fursonas actually are. You know, there are stereotypes that might prove true, and that's cool. But at the same time, it's kind of dangerous to very much minimize someone to just that, or someone's character or fursona to just that as well. So I wanted to kind of do this video as a little bit of food for thought within that end of it. I don't know, I'm rambling on, but either way, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all this. I kind of just did an info dump in one of my weird talkative moments where I didn't really organize this well, so again, I apologize a little bit. But if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And hopefully we can do a lot more videos like this. I really enjoy the social aspect to social media and the internet and just how things are perceived. But either way, I enjoyed doing this video and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. That's about gonna do it for me. Have a wonderful night, take care, life stay jacket, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.